shock the system. Bulletcast for life.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bulletcast. I'm your host, the Podfather. On the line, I have the award-winning, under-the-radar host, the creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots. He is the Bulletcast champion, Brandon. Canadian Destroyer, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Still your Bulletcast champion. Hopefully, next time we talk, I'm still Bulletcast champion. A rare back-to-back-to-back title defense is going on because that's the kind of champion I am, because NXT TakeOver is in 2 weeks. Double or Nothing is this weekend. You are already in Las Vegas for Double or Nothing. I am going to be over there within the next 24 hours.
Yes, we're recording this on Wednesday night for the people listening. Yeah, man, I've been in Vegas for about 8 hours, and let's just say a lot of sins have been committed in Sin City.
I don't even want to know, because it's not even 9 o'clock yet. So it's a lot of day sinning.
A lot of day sinning, yeah. But I mean, I'm ready to go Double or Nothing. I got one last little meet and greet type deal. I'm gonna be doing the Cody Rhodes, Frankie Kazarian cigar thing. I was talking to my roommate Paul, our graphic designer, designed our logo, and I was like, you know what, man, why not? Just for the hell of it. It's $80. It's fine. You know, since I have all that Ric Flair money that I was gonna spend.
Shout out Ric Flair. Hopefully, he seems as though he's doing well. He got discharged. He posted that he's healthy. Hopefully, everything pans out well for him.
Hopefully, everything does pan out. So, we're gonna talk WWE, and then of course we're gonna get into Double or Nothing, all the stuff that's gonna be going on. Starcast. It's a pretty big weekend. I'm excited. So, outside of the ring, WWE, they're gonna be they're nominated for MTV Movie and TV Awards. I think the triple threat of main event of WrestleMania, the women, was the best fight, and I think Roman is like best character or best hero or something like that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird to have like wrestling in a not only mainstream award show but also in like TV and movies and whatnot. It's kind of cool, I guess. I don't think they're gonna win because they're going up against the likes of the Avengers in both categories, so I don't think that they will win. But good on WWE. It's just one more feather in the cap that they can show about how mainstream and how great they are and how big of a company they are.
Yes, you know, they're getting that sweet Saudi money. So we got AEW TV 14 on the script. We talked about it a little bit on the Money in the Bank recap. Do you have anything you really want to see from the TV 14 product that will be AEW?
No, I mean, I kind of touched on it, like you could implement more blood. The sex stuff, I'm not a huge fan of. You can do it if you want. It is what it is, but I think maybe the best aspect, I think, of TV 14 is just a more serious, a more maybe adult-oriented product, maybe in terms of the language. You don't have to go all out and use, F-bombs and S-bombs and all that other stuff, but, you can throw some language out there that maybe that WWE is afraid of because of sponsors or because they don't want to, disregard, or they don't want the parents to be like, I don't want my kids watching that. But mostly it's just the tone of AEW is what I want to see from a TV 14 product.
Yeah, I wanted to. I don't want it to be all grimy, but I do want to see like a little bit more of an adult product, less PG, because we've been living in the PG era for well over a decade now. So I'd like to see it amped up. All right, so Ukes, apparently they're designing its own wrestling game. There are people who are saying it's an alternate WWE game under the WWE umbrella, but then there are rumors around that it is AEW affiliated. Thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not the biggest gamer in the world. I haven't really been playing WWE games for the last few years, but if it is AEW related, that is obviously a big deal for them to get a major video game developer, especially one that's been linked to WWE. And if it is WWE related, I don't really know what they can do. They've done a ton of offshoot wrestling games before. Maybe they do like a Street Fighter type game. I don't exactly know, but it's no matter what company it is, it's always interesting to see what kind of new products that the wrestling world throws out there.
Yeah. Let me see what. Oh, Scarlet Bordeaux requested her release from Impact Wrestling. Thoughts on the Smoke Show?
I think the Smoke Show, she, not a bad rep, but she has the reputation of, being the sex pot and kind of a throwback to the Divas Sable type era. But when it comes down to it, she still can wrestle. She's not the best wrestler in the world, but I think she's a much better wrestler than people would think of her to be at first glance, just because of her character and how she looks. If she is going to AEW or WWE, I don't know if her act really translates to WWE, just because it is kind of so sexually fueled, you would say. So if she was to go to AEW, I think that's a good get. She's not going to be the top echelon of women's wrestling in there. I think still Britt Baker. The women in the triple threat are definitely the top tier for the women's division in AEW as of this moment. But I think she's good not only as a wrestler, but I think she can also be a really good manager mouthpiece as well.
Yeah, I think she does have that. You could say Marlena or even Sensational Sherry role of just being a nice, pretty-looking valet who does get involved in the match from time to time. I sent you the script if you want to follow along.
I am already following along. I am on top of it.
Okay, you're going to have to take over in case I have some blunders,
I don't exactly know what you've been doing in Vegas, so you've been sipping on them slushies?
No, no alcohol has been consumed today.
Yet. Okay.
But after we record this, then I'm going to the strip, and it's all hell breaking loose. If I see Jon Moxley, I'll tell him you said hi.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. So AJ Styles has apparently signed his last wrestling contract. He spoke with God, I forgot the outlet. I'm a terrible journalist. I'm sorry, but he said, yeah, this WWE contract that he just signed will be his last, and it makes perfect sense. Perfect way for the guy to end his career. I mean, he's done everything. He's been everywhere. He's held every title you can possibly hold. So, just makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. AJ's been in the business for a long time. Don't exactly know the logistics of his contract. If it's a 5-year deal or a 10-year deal, who exactly knows? But, I think a nice 5-year deal. He's in his mid-late 40s at that point. He can maybe transition and I don't exactly know what his definition of a wrestling contract is. Does he transition into a part-time contract, a Legends contract? I don't know if he's even thinking this much about it, but I think AJ, as long as he plays his cards right and he wants to stay in WWE because it is a good gig for him to be a lifer, for the next however long he's still alive and wants to be associated with the business. It's good. Good on him. If he doesn't want to be in AEW and kind of test the waters there, just WWE, a nice safe outlet for him to make a good deal of money.
Yeah, AJ said he loves WWE. It's family oriented, and that's the place for him. Which I understand. The man's got kids,
just like Heath Slater, baby.
But Heath Slater, he's got kids
with E's and Y's and.
Yes.
He got lots of kids.
Yes. All right, this day in wrestling, Slamboree 1994, the Stinger. This is blonde-haired Stinger. Defeats Vader to become WCW champion. Nitro 2000. Jeff Jarrett beats Kevin Nash for the vacant WCW title. Judgment Day 2005, that was the blood brawl between JBL and WWE champion John Cena. On this day in 2016, Cody Rhodes was released from his WWE contract, and look where we are now.
That's a nice little piece of trivia there. 3 years to the date, we're on the precipice of Cody Rhodes' brainchild.
Yeah, this is something amazing, man. All right, Brian Pillman would have been 57 today. R.I.P. The wrestling world still misses you. Tracy Brooks, former knockout in TNA, she's 44. Happy birthday to the Planet's champion, Planet's tag team champion, the new Daniel Bryan. He's 38.
38, it's kind of maybe not sneaky old. I think if you just look at how long he's actually been in the wrestling business, it's kind of shocking that he is 38. He's kind of in the AJ Styles ilk, and he's still a few years younger than AJ. It's just kind of crazy how just last year, around this time we were kind of speculating of, oh, Daniel Bryan's contract's running up. Is he going to go to? Is he going to show up at All In? Is he going to go to New Japan and all this stuff? And in the end, he just goes the safe route. He signs with WWE, maybe just because they threw him too much money for him to say no. And now he's wrestling on the pre-shows and losing. So, happy birthday, Daniel Bryan.
You can't always be at the top of the card, unless you're Hogan and WCW booking yourself. But
I mean, we could have seen maybe Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson for the first time ever at Double or Nothing this weekend, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Or, we could have saw Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan, but, he chose his friends.
It could have gone either way, but here we are today.
Joe Coffey is 31. I enjoyed him in the NXT UK title match that he had with Pete Dunne. I thought he should have won, but, Alright, let's hop into the fan mail. Let me open up the emails here. Alright, here we go. Open. Jesus Christ, this Wi-Fi.
How was your Airbnb over there as you struggle to open up the Wi-Fi? Obviously, the Wi-Fi is not very good.
Actually, the Wi-Fi is pretty good. It was just that little delay, probably because I had my Wi-Fi off while I was consuming food at the Golden Corral up the street.
Shout out to Golden Corral, a WWE sponsor.
Yes, absolutely. Wi-Fi is pretty good. So here we go. Blue Rhino. This past Sunday, Rollins competed in his 69th WWE pay-per-view match. Wow.
Good for Seth Rollins.
No. That's not the end of the email.
Oh, okay.
Do you think Rollins and Beck's 69?
Moving on.
Moving on. All right, Hootie Who 420.
Hootie Who, my boy.
Thoughts on Rebby Hardy's comments on Ashley Massaro's death. Yeah, that's the thing we forgot to touch about when we did the tribute to Ashley Massaro. Go check it out in the Bulletcast archive. While everybody was paying their condolences, Rebby tweeted a kissy face and a heart, and I'm like, that's uncalled for. And then I pulled something from her Twitter. I'm going to read it. People are desperately trying to force me to care about something I don't give an F about and looking for it in... I'm not going to use a lot of profanity here, but I'm out here tweeting about it. She claims she was tweeting about a drag race, but that we all know that's not the case, Any thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm not exactly up to speed and know every single detail of what Rebby has tweeted about. If it is regards to Ashley, it's definitely not a good look. Rebby is always kind of unfiltered for good and for bad. This is not a good look for Rebby, I think. No matter how much you might dislike somebody, I think, tweeting something about somebody, days after allegedly someone might have committed suicide is probably not the best time to tweet.
Yes, it is not. All right. I lost the copyright claim to WWE. I'm sorry. I apologize. I tried, Brandon. I tried for us.
What was the copyright?
I used it was from some off-brand YouTube channel. I used footage of Hogan and Andre from WrestleMania 3.
Oh, that copyright claim. Okay,
yeah,
I got it.
Yeah. I lost. I lost the battle.
It's okay.
All right, Nigerian Prince. R-Truth is great, but why make this guy look like an idiot all the time? 2011, this guy was worthy contender for the WWE title. Well, we're gonna talk about R-Truth later on in the show.
Well, that's kind of been his shtick for a long time, and I mean I've said it before on the podcast. I think R-Truth could be maybe not a main eventer, but he definitely could be in the mid card and be a sort of serious, or definitely a serious type of competitor. He's good. He's kind of like the Goldust. He's older, but he still can definitely go, and it's just what Vince McMahon does. You can call it racist, you can call it just him being senile and him being juvenile, or whatever you want to call it, but this is just kind of the stuff Vince McMahon does.
It is. Alright, last up, Copenhagen Smith. The guy just keeps sliding in the DMs, man. Here we go. Bulletcast Championship 24/7 rule. You guys randomly decide when you want a chance at the title no matter what, and the champion has to say yes to the predictions. Oh, okay.
I'm already defending it 3 weeks in a row. How much more do you want from me?
Look, that's Copenhagen, bro. You got to take it up. Actually, DM him back. See what happens. We don't know. All right, let's get into the Raw recap. So, Brock Lesnar, he did win the Money in the Bank this past Sunday, and the Universal Champion Seth Rollins, WWE Champion Kofi Kingston are out in the ring. Brock Lesnar uses the briefcase like a boombox. It's great. It's hilarious. But basically, Lesnar has options.
Lesnar does have options, and that was pretty much the tease throughout the entire show to get people to stay tuned and watch Raw was maybe Brock Lesnar's going to cash in, and anyone with half a brain knows Brock was not going to cash in. But I think it's going to be, I don't know if it's obvious, but I think he's probably just going to do what we all thought. He's going to cash in on Rollins at Saudi Arabia because Super Showdown is as good or maybe even better than WrestleMania. So they're really downgrading the value of WrestleMania just for that sweet, sweet Saudi money.
Anything for that sweet, sweet Saudi money. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah, but man, I want him to cash in on Kofi, to be honest, or the WWE Championship rather. And I mean, we're going to talk about the WWE title picture coming up later on in the show, but I think that will refresh Brock Lesnar. I mean, he was WWE Champion, 2015? That WrestleMania you were at? That was the last time he held that title?
I mean, it is kind of a more compelling story just because Kofi and Brock have never faced off, or well, he did face off. They had that match like wherever,
Beast in the East.
In Japan or something. But
yes.
We've seen the Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar thing many times before, not only this year but after he cashed in 2015. And not saying it's not going to be a good match. It could be a good match, but I think the more compelling route is to give it to have him do a feud, either cash in or cash in the day of or in advance on Kofi. And if it is true that maybe Fox wants more serious and maybe they get Brock to sign a deal and they get him on Fox, he can be kind of the face of SmackDown. He can be the heel, and then the big dog slays the beast. Who knows? That's Survivor Series because you got to make Roman look good, and he's the real face of SmackDown in WWE.
He is. Roman Reigns is the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history. Not Elias, but Roman Reigns. Yes.
But the best in the world, Shane McMahon said that it's Elias, so I tend to believe the best in the world.
That's right. You got to believe the best in the world. All right, so my boy LeBron Strowman defeats Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's great. I love Sami.
Sami Zayn is great, even though he's the conduit for Vince McMahon to air all of his grievances about the fans.
I love that too.
Braun Strowman just decimates Sami Zayn, and it's kind of back to where Sami Zayn was before he got his injury. He was the annoying heel that just gets pulverized and thrown around everywhere.
But I feel like he's more annoying now, and I love it.
I don't know.
Maybe it's the new weird dance that he just does to the ring. Maybe that's it. I'm down for it.
I mean, even back when he was a babyface, he had the reputation of being very, very, very annoying if you were not in the mood to deal with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
He can be a lot.
He can be a lot. Was he a lot when you met Sami Zayn?
No, Sami Zayn, very nice guy. Maybe one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. I will have to meet Sami Zayn, and then I'll get back with you and concur that fact. All right, well, moving on from that, Lars Sullivan beats up some Mexicans again.
I mean, I haven't read all of his posts, but maybe he has some things about Mexicans, and that's why he just keeps going after Lucha House Party.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to show up, and he's going to beat up on Andrade, and then Rey, and then Dominic.
And wasn't Kalisto one of the guys that was kind of outspoken about Lars and the things he said, and now, however, 2 weeks later, he's having a bump all over for him and do all these things. I just find it kind of a coincidence.
There are a lot of those coincidences with the WWE. Yep. All right, well, Cesaro beats Ricochet. Cesaro, new theme music. God-awful. Why did they just go back to the Swiss rap theme song that he used to have back in the day? I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I didn't really like Cesaro's new theme. From some people, I've seen that they really like it. I just thought it was kind of boring and kind of Cesaro-ish. It was just kind of... It was
just generic.
It was just kind of generic. It doesn't really stand out all that much. Ricochet, he had his good spots in. He did a flippy-do, and Cesaro won Ricochet, I feel like, should be protected more just because he hasn't been beaten so many times like Cesaro has, but I think it's just they need heels, and Cesaro is a really good in-ring heel. I think, I mean, by the end of the month, Ricochet is probably going to beat Cesaro, and we're going to be back to square one, and everyone's 50-50, and everyone's the same.
Or everybody could be 24/7.
Maybe.
We're almost there. All right, so Roman Reigns versus the best in the world, Shane McMahon, is set for Super Showdown, an event that could be as good or even better than WrestleMania.
It's, I guess, a fine match. Roman versus Shane McMahon's probably not going to be the prettiest match in the ring. They have the Drew McIntyre lingering there in the background as Shane McMahon's heavy. Not the role I would want Drew McIntyre in, to be the lackey for Shane McMahon, but that means he's going to get TV time, he's going to be protected, so might not be the way I would book him, but it's probably best for Drew because he's going to get protected more than Ricochet and Cesaro are going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I need a heavy. Will you be my heavy?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, I need protecting. Alright, so moving on from all that, the Revival defeat the Usos. Thoughts?
Good for the Revival. After all the dastardly things the Usos have put them through, good for the Revival to get the revenge.
Good for the Revival. People, if you hear like creaking or something, I'm laying on an air mattress, so be kind.
Ooh, it's the high quality Airbnb air mattresses.
I mean, I'm not going to be the one sleeping on it. I'm just kind of leaning my back towards it while we do this illustrious podcast. All right. There was a darker Firefly Funhouse. I'm with all of it. I love it. I'm intrigued. Don't at me.
Honestly, this was maybe my least favorite Firefly Funhouse, just because it was not. We didn't really get Bray. I think maybe Happy Pee Wee Bray is people's, what people really like about these segments, and it was fine. I mean, it kind of sets up down the line eventually when Bray debuts in the ring and does something, but it was fine. I mean, it just kind of further cements his darker persona, let him in, and whatever that means, but it was cool. Definitely not my favorite out of the Firefly Funhouses, but hopefully we get Pee Wee Bray next week.
Yowie wowie, you found me. Let me in. I'm sorry, I apologize. Alright, well, Becky Lynch, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss defeat the Iconics and Lacey Evans.
Good segment, I thought, from Becky in the moment of Bliss. I thought she carried herself nicely. I like Nikki just kind of hanging out in the background, kind of doing her thing. She was a little more crazy, Nikki. This time she was still kind of normal, but she wasn't all over the place like she used to be in NXT, which is fine. Maybe that's kind of a happy medium. And the Iconics were annoying, as always. Lacey Evans, I thought, carried herself quite well. The match itself was fine. Alexa Bliss seemingly is still out with the concussion. I just don't know what this means for her future. If it was me, I think I would just have her be a talk show host, be a valet. She's a good talker. She's an okay wrestler, but I think just her size and the amount of damage that she's already done in her such short career, maybe she shouldn't be wrestling anymore.
Well, you know what? If you're not a great wrestler, if you've done a lot of damage to your body, you can become the 24/7 champion. So, Mick Foley, Mrs. Foley's baby boy, comes out. You know, they announced on Money in the Bank he has this championship that he's going to debut a new title. And it is the 24/7 championship. It is the PG version of the hardcore title. People are saying it's the Joe Bear title, or it is the hey, I sit back in catering and get paid title.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. If you saw, like, every single person that was fighting for that title, you didn't see Braun Strowman fighting for it, or Seth Rollins, or Kofi, or Brock Lesnar. It was No Way Jose, the Good Brothers, R-Truth, and everybody who we don't see. I mean, EC3 made an appearance. Mojo Rawley was 2 weeks in a row on WWE television in the ring. I mean, good for Mojo. He's finally getting a solid push. But, yeah, this segment died a slow, painful death, and
Yeah.
I think people were wanting it to be the Hardcore Championship, and I think, not saying if it was the Hardcore title with the 24/7 rule that this would just fix everything, but it wasn't what the crowd wanted. I think Mick sensed that because when he unveiled it and he didn't get a massive pop, I think he was just kind of like, "Oh, this is not going well."
Yo,
And random prediction, I think this might, or a random guess, I think this might be a Bruce Pritchard invention.
I mean, I'll ask Bruce Starcast.
Okay, you can ask him if he's the reason for the 24/7 championship.
I'll straight it. I would actually have to buy that meet and greet first and then ask him, but I'll do it just for that question.
Or you can just barge into one of the whatever, something to wrestle with panel and just be like, "Yo, 24/7 title. You did that, right, Bruce?" And
I have the gold bracelet, so I get into that already. So yeah, I'll just do that when they ask questions. But yeah, so why do we keep letting Mick Foley unveil titles? The Universal title, the Universal title got a worse reaction than this.
I mean, I don't know. That thing was in the third hour. People are tired. People are expecting a Hardcore title, and they get this. I would not be shocked if we come 6 months, a year from now, and the 24/7 title is not a thing anymore.
Yes, I mean, it looks like the WBC boxing heavyweight title. People are complaining it's green. The WWE title used to be green. Anyway, so it's
the title that Braun Strowman won at the greatest Royal Rumble ever was green.
It was greener.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but they threw that thing away. We're never going to see it again. Anyway, so he lays it down and people just start running to the ring, and first person to grab it, I guess, becomes champion. Titus O'Neil becomes champion. And then he gets pinned by Robert Roode. And then Bobby is asking Truth to hide him. Truth double crosses him, pins him, and then says he won the European title. I laughed at that one, I'm not going to lie.
Poor Robert Roode. Such high hopes for him. He has a luscious mustache.
So you know what this means, right?
What?
This is the new Grand Slam. You have to win the 24/7 title to be considered Grand Slam.
I would much rather just get the 4 titles than have the 24/7 title, because I would not be shocked. I don't think we're going to be seeing Roman Reigns holding that championship at all. So if you're holding the 24/7 championship, you got some issues.
Dude, The Undertaker was hardcore champion. I feel it's the same thing.
I don't know if it's the same thing. I mean, they're going for the same comedy shtick, but they can't use the hardcore rules, I guess. And I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a 10-minute segment on Raw and SmackDown of all the shenanigans that's happened over the past week with R-Truth.
R-Truth is great. I mean, Undertaker versus Goldberg 24/7 title in Riyadh.
It's Jeddah.
Oh, it's same thing.
Wow. Shout out to all our Saudi Arabia fans out there. I'm pretty sure there are none because we buried the country so much.
Yeah. All right, so 24/7 title. Love it. I'll go to Raw in San Jose just to see that thing. Anyway, so we have Drew versus Miz, and McIntyre beats Mike Mizanin.
Yeah, pretty straightforward match. Drew is much higher on the totem pole than Miz. Miz, I mean, it would make sense because he did just come off of a grueling cage match with the best in the world. So, but Drew did come off of the Money in the Bank ladder match. But who cares?
Yeah.
What is selling, anyways?
What is selling? All right, and so the main event: Kofi Kingston, the WWE Champion and the Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, defeat Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley.
Pretty straightforward. I mean, when Triple H announced that Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins were taking on the extravagant duo of Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley, I don't think people were excited to see that match because,
dude,
Baron Corbin is the mid-card black hole that just sucks everything down.
Okay, how dare you? He retired.
I'm still waiting for him to tear the house down with Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, that other guy said that.
Still waiting.
Yeah, I mean, Baron Corbin retired Kurt Angle. He beat him so bad he's not even going to be at StarCast.
That is true.
You see? So, that's even more heat. Baron Corbin's amazing. Yeah.
You said it, not me.
Well, I'm down for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, Corbin and Lashley, just making it happen. All right, moving on. Let's go to SmackDown Live. Big E returns. The king of Twitter returns to the blue brand, and let me tell you, Big E acknowledging his Twitter on SmackDown was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, Big E's Twitter is straight fire. No pun intended, if you know what I mean.
I gotta get my Twitter game up like that. Do I have to start getting weird with it? Is that it?
Just shoot your shots at wrestlers' moms.
Oh man, Alexa Bliss's mom. Hey now.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yep. Going downhill. Anyway, so Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens interrupt those guys, and basically Kofi and Sami Zayn have a match later on in the show, and we can just jump right into that. Kofi beats Sami.
Good for Kofi, but the aftermath was not very good for Kofi.
It was not, because my boy Dolph Ziggler returned from the comedy tour, attacked Kofi Kingston, and then he cut a promo later on in the night saying how it should have been him. It's a jealousy angle. You know, when I met Dolph, I was like, man, I gotta see you back in that WWE title picture as soon as you come back, and look where we are.
You inspired Dolph Ziggler to come back and fight for that championship.
Dude, it's just a couple of guys who are insanely good at what they do, who don't get enough credit, who don't get the right accolades for it. That's all this is, man.
It is a how many times has Dolph Ziggler's character been the guy who gets screwed over and passed up for other people, even though Dolph Ziggler doesn't win his matches? So,
dude, so look, fantasy booking right now. Let's say Dolph beats Kofi at Super Showdown, right? And give Dolph and let him run with it for a little while. He loses to Roman at SummerSlam. First night on Fox, Roman gets cashed in on by the Beast.
Hey, that could be something to look forward to. I don't think Brock Lesnar is going to hold it for that long. I think it's either he's going to cash it in in Saudi Arabia. Maybe he holds it a little bit longer than that, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Brock Lesnar carrying that boombox for much longer.
I mean, we don't have to see him. He can just go hide in Saskatchewan, like he normally does. It'll be the same thing.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think Ziggler really has any chance of beating Kofi, I think.
Dude, how many times are we going to get there, but then never execute? Just give the guy the damn title. Just let him have it.
Not everybody deserves the championship, Phillip. He's already had it once before, and I think instead of giving Ziggler a token run with it just because he's been with the company for so long, and
it's not about being with the company for so long. It's about being so damn good for so damn long.
But you can say the same thing for Kofi, and Kofi's been pretty good for so long, and I think Kofi needs to have a serious and a long reign. I mean, if Kofi just loses it to Dolph Ziggler, that doesn't exactly, add
shock and awe.
That doesn't add prestige to Kofi Kingston compared to if he just gets cashed in on by the Beast after he goes through a grueling match against Dolph Ziggler.
Prestige? We just had like 3 women's champions in like one night.
Well, that doesn't do the title very well. As I said, I would have much rather had Bayley cash in on Becky, but it doesn't look as though they're going to go the heel Bayley route as of this moment. So they had to have Charlotte have her 20th title reign for a cup of coffee.
Yes, absolutely. All of that had to happen to get to where we're going. All right, so Mustafa Ali defeats Andrade St. Almas.
Good, solid match. It seems as though WWE is kind of pushing Ali a little bit at this time. I mean, he was climbing the ladder when Brock's music hit, and now he's getting this win over Almas. So good for Ali. I think he's a good, solid wrestler. I think he has good promo ability as an underdog, and personally, I would much rather have Ricochet than Ali, but I'll take what I can get at this point.
I don't know, man. Go watch the WWE Chronicle on the network about Ali. He's a really likable guy, man. He used to be a police officer. I'm like, wow.
But I think Ricochet is one of the best high-flying wrestlers in the world today.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, watch some of those 205 Live. I know you don't watch 205 Live. Just go back and watch, like, a match or two. Like, man, this dude was insane. It was great.
To be honest, does anybody watch 205 Live?
People watch 205 Live.
People.
Yes. People watch 205 Live.
I don't count the producers and everyone in the arena as people watching 205
There are
Live.
people around the country who watch 205 Live.
On the WWE Network.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I'll take your word for it.
I listen to these other shows. I hear 205 Live get dropped. I hear about what happened. I'm like, oh, wow, that happened. I should probably watch it. But I don't. You know, I'm a terrible wrestling fan, I know.
There's just so much stuff out there that it's hard to keep up with everything.
And then, you know, it's going to be hard to keep up this weekend. Whew, boy, let me tell you.
There was actually, I saw like an indie show going on in Vegas as well on Friday, I think.
Yeah, I think Michael Tarver from the Nexus is on that card.
Go and meet Michael Tarver.
Yes.
Live your lifelong dream.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so after that, we have Mandy Rose and Carmella. They wrestle against each other, and it ends in a no DQ because everybody's chasing R-Truth, who was wearing a midriff and a blonde wig, sunglasses for some reason, trying to hide the fact that he's the 24/7 champion. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that happened. And the thing with the 24/7 title and the hardcore title all those years ago and everyone has such fond memories of is because everybody was over back in those times. You had, you know, Crash Holly and the lowest of low-card wrestlers were super over with the stupidest of gimmicks, and Robert Roode and No Way Jose are nowhere near as over as lower card guys back 20 years ago.
Gerald Briscoe, didn't he win it like while he beat somebody while they were sleeping? Like, come on, man. That's great.
Exactly. That's what happens when everybody's over. You can get away with stupid stuff like that.
Maybe.
But when no one's over and you're doing blonde wigs and bra jokes, it's not going to get over.
Maybe Cody's right. Maybe it's just time to kill the Attitude Era.
Well, we're going to see maybe the Attitude Era die on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to get into that, yes. All right, so Bayley, I didn't realize she became a Grand Slam Women's Champion.
I didn't even realize that was a thing, but I guess it is because of the tag team titles now.
The Grand Slam and Triple Crown, yep. All those women's titles, tag team, NXT, main roster. Shout out Bayley. Getting it done.
Shout out Bayley. I still like her, even though she did get a very nice pop at Money in the Bank, but maybe, as I predicted, didn't really carry over all that much to SmackDown.
Yes. Well, she and Becky Lynch defeat Charlotte and Lacey Evans.
Good for Bayley and Becky. I mean, Bayley getting the win again over Charlotte, so still kind of cementing and protecting Bayley after she's been losing for such a long period of time. So good to see her get the W. Just kind of building up the two champions against the two challengers and wild card rules. That's why Becky Lynch is on Raw now, or on SmackDown and everything.
Wild card? Are we calling somebody? Is that what you said?
Never again.
What do you mean never? I guarantee you Carlos will pick up again.
That's not a good thing.
All right, moving on. So, the big dog defeats Elias. He and Shane McMahon get in a kerfuffle, and then he gets Claymore kicked by the boy Drew McIntyre.
Well, tough night for the big dog.
Tough night for the big dog. Yes. So, what are your thoughts on this whole McIntyre Roman thing?
I mean, it's a decent feud. I think it's predictable that you would put these two guys together just because they're Vince's boys, and maybe it hasn't clicked as much as we would like it to click. Maybe each of them is better when they're kind of the smaller guy and they're the bigger guy in the situation. I mean, I don't know, but maybe who knows what they're doing with them. I mean, we had this at WrestleMania. Roman kind of beat him pretty decisively, and now we're going back, and maybe we're going to see this match at Survivor or SummerSlam or something. So they're probably going to drag this feud out for a long time through the summer.
Yeah, just have them feud over the 24/7 title.
That'll really put some prestige into that thing.
I just realized. So this Instagram page, wrestling_4K, they have a 24/7 championship comment thing, I just became the champion, so congratulations to me. I don't need that Bulletcast title anymore. I'm moving on to bigger and better things.
Wow, way to just degrade the championship.
Oh, wait, no, somebody comment, damn. I was only, wow. Alright, so I'm no longer
How the mighty have fallen.
I'm no longer the champion. I had an hour with it. It was great. I'm the only man in history to hold the Bulletcast and 24/7 comments championships, okay?
Good for you. Making history.
Yes, making history. All the damn time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, Brandon, myself, and a hell of a lot of other people are going double or nothing MGM Grand. We're going to start off with the buy-in matches. So like we said, the Bulletcast title's on the line. I'm looking to come for it, man, after I just lost that title. I'm looking to be the BC champ 5 times. So, we have Kip Sabian, yeah, sure, versus Sammy Guevara. Who you got?
I'll go with Sammy just because he's been a focal point on the Being the Elite episodes. Kip, I haven't really heard a whole bunch about him. Should be a good, fast-paced, high-flying opener, but I'm going to go with Sammy.
Yes, alright. The over-budget Battle Royal. Oh, speaking of that, so we found it on the Nightmare YouTube channel. If you haven't seen the video already, go watch it. The person who wins that title, wins the Battle Royal, will become one of the contenders for the AEW Heavyweight title. And then the winner of Jericho and Omega becomes the other contender. And then those two will face off. Winner becomes the first ever All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, big stakes for this, not over budget Battle Royal, the Casino Battle Royal. So it should be a big name winning this Battle Royal, and maybe someone hasn't been announced yet is going to win it. They keep teasing that they still have big announcements and big surprises for the show.
I mean, this over the budget Battle Royal just became a perfect 10. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
You don't like perfect 10s?
I mean, not that perfect 10.
Wow, what did he do to you?
I'd much rather, as much as I kind of buried Dolph Ziggler on the show today, I would much rather have Dolph Ziggler in the role of Ty Dillinger than Ty Dillinger being in this Battle Royal.
What did this guy do to you?
Nothing. That's the problem. He doesn't entertain me.
What? Jesus. Wow. All these takes, man. I love it. I'm going to go MJF on the Battle Royal.
Okay. And by the way, I don't think you gave a prediction for the Kip Sabian Sammy Guevara match. I'll just pencil you in that you got Kip.
I picked Sammy.
Oh, okay. All right.
I thought I said that. I'll make sure to repeat my picks.
So if you got MJF, I know it's maybe the obvious pick, even though he's not announced yet. I don't know if I want to do it, but if you're picking MJF, I think if this is going to be the pseudo number one contender for the championship, it has to be a pretty big name. And MJF, I like him, but I will go with Jon Moxley making a surprise return, making his debut at the Casino Battle Royal on free television, winning it, and he drew the lucky Joker card for the 21st entry, and he will win the Battle Royal.
Wow, okay. I have other thoughts about Moxley later on in the show, but yeah. Alright, so we got the best friends going up against Angelico and Jack Evans. I'm going with the BFFs, best friends.
Forever. I will go with Angelico and Jack Evans on this one. Not really a reasoning. I just think that they're going to try to maybe not a shocking finish, but I think the best friends can afford to lose here, and I think they're going to want to Angelico, whatever his name is, and Evans. I think they're a tag team that they're going to want to push, and I think for them to get this win on this stage is kind of a big deal, and maybe play up more frustration with the best friends.
Oh, absolutely. That's a possibility. So you said Angelico / Evans. Cool beans. Alright, you want to say all these names, all these women's names down here?
Well, I am the Japanese aficionado, so I'm going to butcher all of these Japanese women's names. So we got Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura going up against Hikaru Shida, Ryo and Ryu Mizunami. I think I did a pretty good job at that.
I think you did. That's why I have you here, man. For moments like this.
I don't really know any of these women, but I know Aja Kong, so I would go with her team.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one. I would go Aja Kong as well. Just put Aja Kong team. Because I'm not exactly sure who the rest of those people are. Yep, but that's why we need to watch AEW for moments like these, so we understand. Alright, Dr. Britt Baker, Adam Cole's Bay versus Kylie Ray versus Nyla Rose. I got Kylie Ray.
I was kind of debating should I go with Britt or if I should go with Nyla. Kylie was kind of the my afterthought, to be honest, so I will go with Britt Baker.
Oh, you're choosing Adam Cole's baby.
And watch, it's going to be Nyla who wins, but I will go with Adam Cole's baby.
I know, right? Just shock and awe. Alright, we got SCU versus Chima, T-Hawk, and L. Lindemann, I think that.
I will go with SCU for the win on this one.
Just stealing my picks.
Well, I'm sorry. I have the champion's advantage, so I can decide if I want to pick first or if I want to pick second. And on this match, I'm picking SCU just because I don't really have a good reason, just because SCU is SCU.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking SCU because, they're SCU, SoCal Uncensored, goddammit. Alright, so the match that was supposed to be Hangman Page versus Pac. Pac, refused to lose as the Dragon Gate Open Dream Champion, something, whatever the hell that title's called. He takes his role as the champion very seriously. So you could go the Joey Ryan route, as you said, on Under the Radar, because there's a history there. But I want to do something different, man. I want to pick Jon Moxley.
So you're going to pick Jon Moxley? I think this is just kind of a throwaway pick. I don't think this should really count towards predictions just because we don't exactly know what's going on. I think if it is Jon Moxley, I think that is a suitable replacement, maybe even better than Pop. My thing is I think they definitely want to keep both of them, Moxley and Page, kind of strong. So I don't know if I would just blow that I mean, the Pac-Page match could have possibly been the best match of the show. I think just Joey Ryan going out there, they have kind of a comedy match, but it also has good in-ring work, and Page can just end up going over in the end. I just think save Moxley and Page for another time where it can mean a whole lot more with a great build.
I'm sticking with my guns on that one, man.
Okay, good for you.
So you got Hangman?
So this is going to be like an official prediction, even though we don't know if it's gonna be a match or anything.
That's the magic of the prediction, bro.
Fine, I will go with Hangman, no matter who he faces. Then.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, brother versus brother. The star that left us all in the dust. The guy that is trying to kill the Attitude. It is Nightmare versus Natural. Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. I'm going with Cody, man.
I will go with Cody as well. I don't know exactly what Dustin's role in AEW is going to be. Is he just going to be producer? Is he even going to be with the company?
I think this is his swan song.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for Cody to win just because he is in the company. He's going to be with them for a long time. Who knows what exactly Dustin can do? I think it's going to be a big match for him just to kind of prove, and as you said, his swan song. So one last go around. The Cowboy rides again, but I will go with Cody for the dub on this one.
Yeah, because, the story that they told is interesting. The promo that Cody dropped a few weeks ago saying how his generation is gilded by these 90s and early 2000s stars, which it's really true because as much as people love the Attitude Era, really look at it. The characters were phenomenal and they were amazing. The wrestling was not all that great.
Wrestling is always subjective, and wrestling is a business at the end of the day, and wrestling, as much as you want to talk about the in-ring aspect being fantastic, it doesn't matter how great or how crappy it is as long as it draws money, and the Attitude Era was the hottest time in wrestling history.
No,
so,
yeah. I mean, there are moments from the Attitude Era that I absolutely love, but Cody does have a point. I mean, look at the guys that he has on his roster. I mean, look at the work. He has the Bucks. He has Kenny. I mean, he has a lot of great workers on this roster. So, this generation of wrestlers, I feel like it's really their time to shine, and Double or Nothing is going to be the real coming out party for all these guys.
I mean, even on this card, there's a lot of people that I really don't know, so I'm going to be excited to see a lot of these guys and women wrestling kind of show us on a large scale what they can do.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, so the AAA World Tag Team Championships, the Young Bucks defend against the Lucha Bros. I'm going to go Bucks. I mean, because they got cut really short at All In, and I feel like they're going to really go the distance and have possibly a tag team classic.
I agree with you in terms of I think this match is going to be the best match on the show. The Bucks are going to be determined to steal the show just because they weren't really able to do it at All In. But I will go with the Lucha Bros for the victory. It is the AAA World Tag Team Championships, not the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And I think just getting them off of the Bucks, getting them back onto the Lucha Bros so they can go back down to Mexico and do their thing, I think it makes sense. It was a kind of shock and awe moment when the Bucks beat them for the titles. But I think they're going to get they're going to lose, drop the titles in a fantastic match.
Speaking of fantastic matches, here we go. The one-winged angel, the cleaner, Kenny Omega, is going up against the Lionheart, the once self-proclaimed best in the world, Conce de Leon, Chris Jericho. This is interesting. Like we said, winner becomes contender for the AEW title, but then Jericho, he's going up against Okada coming up pretty soon. Do you really have him lose and then go to Okada? Or do you build him up? Do you make him strong?
It's going to be interesting to see because what is the relationship between AEW and New Japan? Is this strictly a Chris Jericho thing? Is AEW involved with this at all? I think, obviously, we can't make the predictions mid-match or mid-show, but I think it's going to be interesting to see who wins the Battle Royal, and that could set up who wins this match just because if a babyface wins, it's more, definitely if a heel wins, I think it's more likely that Kenny Omega's going to win, but if it's a babyface, it could possibly be Jericho just because he is the heel in the situation. But as you said, him facing Okada for the championship in June, in just a matter of, 2-3 weeks from now?
Exactly. I got Jericho.
You got Jericho, so I'll be the contrarian, and I will go with Kenny Omega for the win.
Boo.
I think Chris Jericho, maybe it is just a him thing. I don't know if AEW is... I don't know if it's burning a bridge if they have Chris Jericho lose, but I think Kenny is going to get the W. If this is the last match on the show, I think they're going to want to have a happy ending. I think Kenny winning is a happy ending.
Is it really, though? Having Kenny Omega win... I'm gonna be upset, very upset. Like at the Cow Palace when Cody lost, I was upset.
Well, maybe your Kenny's good luck charm. When you're there, he wins.
Maybe I shouldn't show up then. As soon as his match starts, I leave. I'm just gone.
All right, see how that works for you.
Yeah,
then you're gonna miss the epic post Double or Nothing speech. Everyone's crying, confetti falls from the air, T-shirt cannons going off. You're gonna miss all that just because you didn't want to see Kenny Omega.
Well, you know what? This is America. Shout out Childish Gambino. All right, let's get into the other talks of the town. God, what are we on? We're like 53 minutes. We got like 7 more minutes, man. We got to make these times. Superstar Spotlight. Who do you got?
It would help if I unmuted my microphone.
Yeah, I was like, what happened?
I will go with someone from AEW. I will go out on a limb, and I will go with the Young Bucks, kind of, foundational pieces for AEW. And as I predicted, I think they will have, despite a losing effort, they will have the best match of the night.
Yeah. I'll just pick Cody Rhodes.
Because he's your boy.
Yeah, of course. Oh, wait, last minute DM. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Alfie Lewis. Hey, I emailed Brandon's mailbag, didn't get a response, didn't hear on Under the Radar. Wow, Brandon, wow.
Tuesday I was in a rush. I know I promised that I was going to start emailing thing. I was going to start checking the email. That one's on me.
Yep.
I was in a rush. I'm going to be honest with you. I was not in the right frame of mind. As you saw, it was only it was like a 20-minute thingy. I didn't even put Under the Radar in the title when I uploaded the episode for the longest time. I mean, if you want, we could just, since we are pressed for time, I could just open up the UTR mailbag. I could just answer the question right now.
I mean, he basically just sent it again right here.
I mean, he called. Well, I'm going to open it up on the bag. Oh, look, it's from Alfie Lewis.
Yeah.
And it was on for May 20th. Oh, my God. Let's see. You and Phillip got any plans together at Double or Nothing or even StarCast? Well, look at that. Isn't that just a great little transition for the end of the show? Phillip, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, should I just go through all the meet and greets again? It's been a couple weeks since I've announced to the people.
Sure. Tell the people what you doing.
So, Saturday I got Scarlet Bordeaux, the smoke show. What is it? I got Mark Henry on Friday or Saturday. That's cool. I got the Young Bucks tomorrow. That's exciting. I got Scott Hall, the ladder, and the IC title from WrestleMania 10 on Friday. I got JR and the King on Friday. I got Gold Dust Thursday or Sunday. I got Arn Anderson meet and greet Saturday. And I have the American Rebel Cigar meet and greet Sunday from 3 to 5. Plus, I have access to all these other wrestling shows. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you have Instagram, go on Instagram, go to A Wrestling Historian, go to that Instagram page. It gives you a list of all the events that will take place if you have a gold platinum bracelet or if you have like a general admissions band. It gives you a list of all the events that you can be a part of and partake in. Tomorrow night, Ron Funches Comedians is doing a show. But I think I'm going to do the evening with Cody and the Young Bucks. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow night.
I am planning to do that show as well. So running down my agenda, going on the trusty StarCast 2 app, I might add. On Thursday, I am doing the Young Bucks meet and greet as well, maybe having to jam that in because I'm landing around 3 o'clock, so starts at 4, ends at 7. Should be fine meeting them. And then on Friday, a jam-packed day, we have the Fifth Man photo op, which is the Sean Waltman, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Eric Bischoff meet and greet. And then we got the Sting meet and greet, the JR and the King meet and greet, as well as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and then Medusa and Dean Malenko. And then on Saturday, starting off the illustrious show, Double or Nothing, that day on Saturday, it's starting off impeccably because that is the day that I will meet the Smoke Show from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Not all 3 hours, just, a 2-minute time span in that 3 hours.
Oh, absolutely. Try to make it
three. And don't exactly know if we're going to be doing any shows or whatnot, but maybe thinking about possibly going to a minor league baseball game. It is the Oakland Athletics minor league team down there in Las Vegas. So it would be cool to catch a show, catch a game, maybe go to the club, drinking, shopping, all the usual Vegas activities.
Yeah, well, I could have went to go see Celine Dion tonight, but I'm here recording with you.
I'm sorry.
I know.
We were scheduled to do it earlier, but Vegas got in the way.
Sin City, man. Sin City, baby. All right, let's talk about our promo pick of the week. Chris Jericho on his Instagram talked about AEW signing with TNT. Talks about how the deal is all him, how he's really the biggest acquisition in all Elite Wrestling, and how he's going to beat Kenny Omega this Saturday at Double or Nothing. Thoughts on the promo?
It's a good promo. This is pretty much what Chris Jericho's shtick is right now. He's basically taking all the credit for AEW success, which is a good heel shtick, even though people in today's day and age kind of see right through it, but good execution from Chris. Now, the close match pick of the week, continuing on with the Double or Nothing trend, is that Pac versus Hangman Page match that took place on Saturday at WrestleGate Pro in Nottingham, England on May 18th, 2019. Pac, he was supposed to be wrestling a triple threat match. Somebody got injured, somebody had some travel issues, so he didn't have an opponent, but Hangman showed up, wrestled him for about 15 minutes, Not going to spoil everything for you. It was a really good match. Wish it could have been a Double or Nothing in Las Vegas, but it is what it is. Check it out on the official All Elite Wrestling YouTube channel. Not on Being the Elite, All Elite Wrestling. Really good match. Wish it could have been in Vegas. Also hearing possibly it might not be just creative differences. Maybe the reason Pac isn't wrestling are going to be there. Because I was supposed to meet Pac, but I got my refund because he ain't going to be there. Maybe he was having some visa issues because, as you remember, he had some visa issues during WrestleMania weekend as well.
Oh yeah, well, that is also a possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is the 20-year anniversary of the death of Owen Hart, and Brandon and I release our tribute to him. We do a watch-along of WrestleMania 10. Brother versus brother really goes along with this weekend. Of him going up against his brother Brett, and it's really nice watch-along that we do. So chill back, relax. We give you the times in which to fire up the network, and you can listen to us talk about our commentary over the match and just give our respects to Owen.
Yeah, really good match. A match that I haven't really seen in a while. I maybe only seen it once or twice before, and definitely a match that holds up to this day and is regarded as possibly the best opening match in WrestleMania history.
It's hard to beat that one. It really is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast. Email us, bulletcast2 is in the number 2, sweet, SWEET at gmail.com. We are on 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Patreon. We're on there as well. Man, this has been fun. I'll possibly see you tomorrow in line for the Young Bucks meet and greet. And maybe we can get into some chicanery and debauchery here in Vegas.
Possibly, and any fans out there, if you guys are going to Vegas and you see us, don't be afraid to say hi. I promise I won't be too big of an a-hole as long as I'm not, liquid fueled with some rage.
Yeah.
I'm not an angry drunk. I'm a nice drunk. I'm very sociable. So if you say hi to me while I'm drunk, I might be even more sociable and talk your head off. So who exactly knows?
Yeah. If you see me, I'll say things to you.
We'll say things to them. That is high praise. That is getting people's expectations really high.
I'll stare into your soul like Bray Wyatt.
Let them in.
Let me in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Paul Playley will be doing the Double or Nothing instant analysis with myself. Brandon, he'll probably do one on Under the Radar and check out curveballs and chair shots. All right, buddy. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Let's go Double or Nothing, baby.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.